everyone, and welcome back again to Oma Ezigbo TV. So guys, in today's video, we're going to be listening to the true life story of how Dr. Ukpai's two children drowned in a river, and while he was trying to pray them back into consciousness, they got involved in a car accident and died. Reverend Ukpai is the founder and president of Ukpai Evangelistic Association, which is a non-denominational gospel ministry based in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State, Nigeria. And during an interview, he revealed all that took place before and on the day of the incident that claimed the life of his children. He said, and I quote, "2 months before I lost my children in an accident, God had spoken to me. God had told me on that day, I won't answer your prayers. I want to test you to know how much you love me. As early as 5 a.m. that morning, armed robbers came to my office. I used to have the best office east of the Niger in 1985. I had a printing press, and my manager was a white American girl. When all my office equipments were removed, God told me to forgive the robbers, and on no account should I collect back the stolen items. Leave those things to them as a gift. I told my wife the next day. On our way to a crusade in my village, my driver carrying my children and a cousin drove into a river. I attempted to bring the children out, not knowing that my wife also jumped into the river behind me, and water carried her and threw her up 6 times. It was at the 7th time that somebody called my attention to her. I used one hand to swim and the other to hold her and brought her to shore. I rescued the children later. They had died because a child stays underwater only for 2 minutes. I put them in a car to pray for them, but an oncoming car from the opposite direction drove into the car and smashed it. The bumper flew out, the bonnet flew out. I stopped and I was pacing up and down, not knowing what to do next. Just then, somebody ran to me, grabbed me and said my 50-seater bus carrying my band had caught fire. He was not sure how many people died in the accident. I was composed because God had warned me. I didn't make those children. God gave them to me. All that I had, now have, and will ever have is given by God, and His will is supreme. When I proceeded to the crusade venue to preach, people were asking me, "What will you preach?" We have been driving on that same road for years, and the driver had been my driver. If God over the years protected us and decided to lower the hedge one day, why should I protest? So I marched on. But I was shocked in 1982 while preparing for Greater Ibadan for Christ Crusade. God said to me, "For handling that case well, you will be seen everywhere." He said, "I will detail 100 angels to be with you wherever you go in the world." Unquote. Now, during his just concluded 80th birthday Thanksgiving, Pastor Adeboye, the General Overseer of Redeemed Christian Church of God, had this touching testimony to give about Reverend Ukpai. Listen to him.
And I feel thoroughly humbled that someone as great as Ukpai could ask me to come and say a word on this special occasion. About Ukpai is maybe a different thing to different people. He may not know this, but he has been one of the greatest encouragements in my life. I met him for the first time more than 40 years ago when he came to Lagos for that wonderful crusade. And I've been following him ever since. And I learned a great thing from him right from the very first time I met him. And that is that if you really want God to come down, you want God to be present in any of your programs, learn to worship God. I learned that from him. So if you see me kneeling down to worship God before I stand up here, I know that if I follow the footsteps of a great man like that, well, you know there are things you say. You say, when you are young and you say, who would you like to be like when you grow old? And then you mention somebody. I think when I grow a little older, I will want to be like Ukpai. I learned something else from him. that if you really want to serve God, then you must be ready to serve Him, whether things are pleasant or things are not pleasant. In the darkest moment of my life, since becoming a Christian, when I lost my son without notice, when my son phoned me on the Sunday evening, Daddy, the weekend program has been extremely successful. Glory be to God. Thank you for your prayer support. And then I heard, the next thing I heard on Tuesday night is that my son was gone. And I have to preach on Friday. One reference point that gave me strength was Ukpai. I know he lost more than one child in a day, and he did not waver. He kept on serving God. He gave me strength at a time when I needed it most. Sir, congratulations, sir. It's only when you get to heaven that you will realize how powerful your influence had been on earth. I congratulate you. I salute you.
Wow guys, that was a beautiful and very inspiring testimony indeed. If you learned one or two things from this story, let me know in the comment section. Alright guys, that's all I have for this video, and if you enjoyed it, please give it a big thumbs up, comment, share and subscribe to the channel. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye for now.